Maplestory, as usual. And today, I'll just be doing some dailies and leveling up a character I created just a few days ago. And, yeah, I'm gonna do that while I just talk about a bunch of stuff. And also, of course, as you guys can notice, can see, I added a little bit of text on my scene here. Because, I thought of it like, let me go change it once in a while. And also to remind people to wear their mask. Because the more I'm seeing people be dumb on the internet, the more I just get infuriated because it's like the obvious reason. No one is trying to be healthy. Not saying no one. I've seen several people, treat it seriously, but it's like, you know what I mean? It just makes me so mad. Anyways, let me go do the dailies now. Wait, now that I think about it, how many days are until, the Paper Mario Origami King? I haven't checked. Because I kind of forgot. But yeah. Okay, I don't know where to begin. So yeah, one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is the Paper Mario series. And if people don't know what that is, I would be surprised if no one knows what that is. Basically, obviously, it's a Mario game series that is, basically 3D environment with literal 2D characters, because it's paper, like style. And I love the games, although I will say, the first game was not my favorite. I never played it, but I did watch it, and it was I really didn't like it at all. And the fifth game, I don't know if I watched that. But yeah. But for this first three games, I've enjoyed them a lot, and I'm hoping, the sixth game, which is Origami King, which will be out in a few days, is, I hope it's not gonna be, I hope it's going to be a good game, Because I really did not enjoy the fourth game, which was Sticker Star, at all. But yeah. And in terms of whether I play the games, I have played Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario. Although for Thousand Year Door, I never really beat in the game because, for one thing, I don't own the game. I actually played it from, whenever my family visited family friends, because they had the game and I ended up playing it whenever we visited. And I was bad, at the final boss, final dungeon, to the point that I pretty much was not sure what I was doing and pretty much, yeah, basically the final boss was not fun. I didn't manage to beat it. Actually, I wasn't even at the final boss. I was close to it, but then I kept messing up, and I was like, oh dear. Basically because, I messed up. But I did finish and beat Super Paper Mario, which is the third game in the series, and I actually liked it. The game itself is pretty much you either like it or you don't like it situation, because it's kind of the middle ground with the popularity, feedback or something. I don't know what the word is. For me, when I first watched it, I think I wasn't too interested, but when I actually played it myself, it actually wasn't that bad of a game, and I actually enjoyed it. And also when I think about it, like these days, I just can't forget how I handled the final boss, because for the final boss, I was just like running around like, okay, let's not get hit, like, because, you know, damage. And I ended up kind of like, the boss ended up in the corner of the map. I ended up going to the corner map to jump on the boss. However, I ended up getting stuck. Not completely, but I was pretty much like just continuously jumping on the boss. And because I had like a lot of damage like per hit, it just kept happening. Like, it kept happening over and over until the boss was defeated, and I still can't get over that to this day. Because it was like, this is the fastest I defeated a final boss in it's been a while, basically. A long time. I'm just not over that because I was like, I can't believe I did this. But yeah, that was like one of the highlights of ever playing a Paper Mario game was how I managed to defeat the final boss of Super Paper Mario. And it's so ridiculous too, because I was like, when that happened, at the time, I was freaking out so much, like, I can't believe this just happened. But it did, and stuff, so yeah. And also, I was so close to doing, like, the 100 trial thing, like, finishing up the 100 trials in Super Paper Mario. But it reached a point where I was like, okay, I am unable to keep going because, like, I was starting to, like, get a lot of damage and not think carefully about what I'm doing. So yeah, that almost happened. Like, and also, like, thinking about it a lot, I want to play it again, but like, because, you know, it's an older game, it's on an older console, like, I don't think my console works anymore, so I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could actually play this game again. And now the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I hope they actually consider re-releasing the first 3 Paper Mario games on, like, let's say the Switch. Because I really want to play them again. Well, I never played the first game. I only found out about the first game when I actually watched playthroughs on YouTube. But I really want to play the games again. Like, just in general. What's this? Okay. Anyways, also, the reason, outside of, like, you know, the 6th Paper Mario game coming out soon, like, what I'm also, like, what's also making me think about the series a lot is how, not really how, but it's like, I ended up hearing about, like, this Google Translate thing, like, mod thing or something that someone did. I looked that up, and I pretty much watched that over the past few days, and it was so random. Like, there were a lot of, like, weird, like, things that were like translated from Google Translate, which is don't really use it basically for like actual translating stuff, but like basically it ranged from being really funny to somewhat inappropriate to outright dark sometimes, and I'm like, I can't believe this. But it's like it's an interesting little adventure into like how Google Translate's algorithm works, but yeah. When I first started watching it though, I did like laugh so much that it was like I was like, okay, I need to take a break and breathe. This because it was so random, but it was also like dark randomly, and I'm like, okay, that's nice to know. Anyways, let's change the topic for now. But to be honest, I really hope, like, at some point they do re-release the first 3 Paper Mario games on a newer console. Like, I don't care if it's, like the graphics could be, like, you know, like, a little more HD, but, like, I just want to play them again. I'm only briefly mentioning HD because, you know, it is like, you know, older consoles where like the quality was basically 480p at least. I mean, it still looks good to this day, but it's like... Never mind. Anyways, there we go. Okay, now let's get out of here to the next area. Nice thing about it, someone I'm subscribed to is actually playing Thousand Year Door, and he's pretty much using a mod that like makes the graphics look more sharp, like to fit HD. And of course, he's using one that's not finished yet. So there are literally some times where the textures look, you know, pretty much like the old game. So. Speaking of which, I think he's gonna upload the next video of his playthrough soon. I just also realized I'm in the wrong map. Oops. I got lag. Anyways, on a different topic. So recently, I've been more focused on working on my series. And I won't get too much out, like details out, but it's pretty much the series I keep talking about every stream. Actually, not every stream, but like one I mention now and again. And I'm trying to write the backstories, and it is not easy because I have to figure out how I want it set up. Of course, I could make an outline, which could make it easier, but I'm also like, nah, I don't want to do an outline, and kind of regret my choice because it's taking me a lot longer than necessary to do this. And it doesn't help that I have like a total of 40 plus characters. Even though a good number of those characters won't count because, you know, they pretty much have similar... Basically, it's like the characters that are siblings, and because, you know, they're present in their siblings' life, like, there's not much difference happening outside of like, oh, this is what they do and stuff. I don't know. I'm still working it out because it's like, I want to make progress so much, but I'm also really lazy. And it's driving me a little crazy because I'm like, I need to get this, like, I need to get some of this finished at some point. And also because of all that, I'm kind of like not drawing a lot these days because I'm focused on trying to get like further into my series, like with creating it, shaping the world of the whole thing. And again, it is not easy. And also, the thing is, I'm now like trying to write the backstories as if the characters are being interviewed. They're not really being interviewed, per se. Dang it. I hate this. Anyways, basically it's not easy to write a backstory, apparently, for me. But I am trying my best because, like, you know, I made the series, so I want to, like, you know, put all my effort into it and, you know. And I like how it's going well so far, but it's like you have the major points written, but you have to put in the detail, like, of, okay, so this is how it happened on this day, kind of thing. Like, for example, you could say that, like, you could have it planned that, like, a character started working at a job or something, and they end their daily life, or some, like at their job. But then it's like, okay, then where's the detail of how they got it, and what is, like, the interactions they face, and it's like, so much detail. But I obviously don't know how to go so detailed. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. But also, it is a story where, like, teenagers are basically on the brains of an adult, so it's kind of like... It's like, I don't even know where to begin with how to write it half the time. But hopefully I get at least one backstory written. Like, at least one. But the thing is, I'm trying to write, like, 2 particular backstories first, because those are the first 2 characters I made, and I want to have their backstories done because, like, you know, they're the first characters I created. But yeah, really not easy, but I am trying my best to make, put in a lot of effort so it looks good. Also, okay, first let me go find where this is. Also, after I finish my dailies on my main, which is not going to be all the dailies because I'm kind of lazy with trying to get them done, like, now of all times. I don't know, it does get tiring when you have to try to level up your arcane symbols. Because it's like, you have so many and you only get a certain number every day. I know, like, it's faster to do them every day anyway, but I'm like getting lazier, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do one of them and just close the game, basically. And I know the max level's 20, for each, but it's also like, it's also so expensive to upgrade them. It's like, why can't it be cumulative or something? Like, why does it have to cost like millions of mesos just to upgrade these symbols? Like, why? Why is that even a thing? It's easier if it costed less, honestly. Anyways, trying to think of like, is there anything else to talk about? Other than whatever I just talked about? Oh yeah, one thing I keep forgetting to do is, I'm supposed to catch up with some animes by now, but because of like everything going on these days and like trying to write my series as well, I'm like, I'm stumbling on my words. But I'm like, I haven't made time to watch some anime yet, and I'm not too behind on some animes, but I'm like, I should really like start watching these or catching up on these, by now. I'm thinking about it, I should fairly soon. I think soon enough I'm gonna be like, not doing dailies as much anymore, and just focusing on like other things outside of like doing video game dailies and stuff. Also, something a bit random now that it crossed my mind. Like, probably ever since I watched, like, a movie last week. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Like, ever since I watched a movie last week, I would just, like, keep thinking about, like, how I kind of heard about it, I guess? I don't know. It's hard to say because it came out last year in 2019, and apparently I never paid attention to people talking about it. Which, honestly, I question a lot of things. Like how I never heard of a series, even though I followed the voice actor for, like, several months on Twitter. And again, this is one of those cases, and but, like, here's the interesting thing of how I actually, like, heard about the series. So, I think I explained it in one of my streams already, but I don't think I did it in a Maplestory stream, so I'll explain it here again. So basically, the story is, a few months ago, before lockdown happened, basically, I was on Tumblr, as usual. I saw this format on a blog that was basically programming jokes. And basically, it was, just kind of summarize it, it's basically like, it's sort of a meme where it's like it, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, taking things literally, like I said it before that I seen someone, like, drew Fire Emblem characters in the template of the meme, and one of them was like, I got hurt in 3 different places. And it's like, well, don't go to those places, was the response, instead of, like, you know, the actual response is like, well, you probably broke your bones in 3 different parts of your body or something. Basically, of course, that's not the actual meme I've seen. That was actually something else I saw later down the line. But basically, the point being, I saw this joke and, well, meme thing, and it made sense to be like a programming joke because, as like, based on how much I've known programming over a single semester of classes, basically, it's like, you had to write the instructions carefully and make sure it works. Because if you don't input it correctly, the computer will think you're an idiot because it would not work. And it's like, well, this is not what I wanted to do, kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the explanation of the meme, basically, like, when I saw it on that Tumblr blog. But of course, like, and here's the part of how I got in, like, heard about this, like, movie series thing, was that sometime after that, I saw that someone drew the characters in that template of the one I've seen, and I'm like, I can't believe this. Of course, at the time, I was like, who are these characters? Because, you know, I never actually seen it or heard about it until that moment for some reason. And yeah, that's kind of how I heard about that movie. And of course, that was all the way back in March. I hadn't seen the movie at all until last week, so. But I'm glad I did watch it last week. And I can't get over this one part of it because I'm like, I hate my brain having these ideas, and I'm like, how could I think this? I mean, it doesn't help that. Like, it doesn't help that I've heard about official art. And it doesn't help that I've seen fan art before I actually watched the movie. Not immediately before, but I pretty much saw it a lot. So yeah, that was like a lot, like, my exposure to the series. And to be fair, like, that's pretty much my exposure to a lot of, like, series, animes, mangas, whatever. And, okay, let's go through this real quick. Anyways, and, most anime, manga, video games, etc., like I mostly get into those like because of fan art. Like how I explained about like what I said about like Seraph for the End. I got into it because of the fan art. I had no idea I get EXP from doing that. Oh, guess I have to do that now. I got my eye. Anyways, yeah. As I said about like the Seraph for the End, like several times before, I got into that because I've seen a lot of fan art and GIFs related to it. And of course, the same could be said about like a lot of, you know, other things I got into. Well, of course there is like some difference because there is a number of things I got into without like seeing fan art and stuff. And I pretty much got into the series because, you know, I saw someone like play the game or, you know, or just like mentions it randomly in their streams or videos, which was how I got into watching the movies Your Name and Silent Voiced, because I've heard people talk about it and saw like posts on Twitter about it as well. Well, for one of them it was mostly Twitter because, you know, Funimation. But for the other one, I've heard a YouTuber like that. I don't watch their content too much anymore, but they briefly mentioned the movie like when they were playing this mod for a game, because the person who created a mod made a reference to it, and like he pretty much mentioned that, and I was like, really? Like, and it got me curious, so I looked into it and I ended up watching the movie, and yeah. And also, friendly reminder to always be respectful to voice actors and the industry. Because, you know, like, if you don't prefer dubs, that's fine, but do not, and I say, do not bully the voice actors. They're human just like everyone else. If you bully them, it's pretty much less than human. So it's like, don't do that. And of course, whenever I think about that, I think back on this one person on Twitter and how rude they've been to the community. To the point that it's like, what they said was very dehumanizing. That it's like, how could someone just go on the internet and think saying those words is a good idea? Because what they said was really, really wrong. Okay, I returned. So anyways, I am on my other character right now. I'm pretty elated with the Terra burning event, because, you know, I didn't really create a character for it. So this is my character for the burning event. I deleted my original Demon Slayer character in this game, because I was like, you know what, I want to start over with this. So, you know, I did, and here we are. And also, I haven't really played this class in, like, ages, so it's kind of weird to control one again, because, you know, the play style is obviously different. And also, again, Terra Burning event. I only started this character, like, at least 3 days ago, because I was like, you know what, I want to have this character created now, so, yeah. also have to remember this. Did I do this? No, I didn't. I wish there's an easier way to remember to do that because, you know, I've forgotten, like, to do the check-in, like, several times now. I wish there's a way, like, they could, like, at least inform us about it, like, in the game. Like, as a notification, like, hey, you should probably check in so you don't forget your, guild EXP. I wish that's the case. Also, just, like, yeah. We also have these things. I had to worry about that later. I had to figure out which ones I want to put points in. Okay, no, that's a quest there, but... And also I have this quest, but it's also like, where do I complete this quest? Okay, anyways. Basically, just on this character, I'm just gonna level up so I can get to level 200. Oops. Like, I'm trying to focus on trying to get a lot of my characters to level 200 as well, because, you know, like, I kind of want to have, like, an entire Maple Legion board just, like, associated with, level 200 characters. And, of course, that's a little impossible because, you know, I don't have that many level 200 characters. And also, it's to avoid having to change the layout every single time I go on it, so... Temple Time is one of my favorite places in the game, as I've said. Because, like, the music is really good, and this has been one of my favorite places since, early Maplestory. Of course, to be honest, I actually never got to this area before, like, you know, the system changed a lot in the game. Which, if I'm right, was at least early 2011 for, Global Maplestory. Now that I think about it, I don't know when I actually first got into this area. I remember traveling to it when I was, like, very new to the game, like, back in 2009. But I obviously didn't really do anything because, you know, I was an extremely low level, so... You know, the more I think about early Maplestory, the more I'm like, wow. It... Like, I'm thinking back on it, and I'm like, this is just, like, yeah. I'm actually happy that the game has changed. Of course, it's kind of annoying that you had to have, like, millions of damage to, like, and stuff like that. But, other than that, it's still pretty fun. At least for Arcane River, they have story versions of the bosses, because If you're required to fight the boss like normal and not in a story mode, that would suck. Very much. Because, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that. Also has so many character slots. Oh, and also, I mentioned this during one of my art streams, specifically the recent one. And, so I got rid of, one of my villagers, and I spent about 75 tickets to not get a villager I want. So now, a random villager is moving into the empty lot, and honestly, I kind of don't mind this time because I'm like, you know what, I need the save tickets, and yeah. Although I kind of do regret not getting this one villager instead, because I got super lucky to get one of my favorite villagers on the first ticket. However, here's the thing. It wasn't a villager I wanted on my island. I had a list of villagers I wanted. And they weren't on the list. So I was like, I'm sorry, I had to abandon you. And then 75 tickets later, I'm just like, you know what? I should have said yes when I had the chance, but I didn't. So now I pretty much lost 75 tickets because I couldn't find a villager I want. Oh, I finished this quest. I wasn't paying attention again. Oh, we have a random ornate chest here. Oh god, the lag. So let's get this quest. Mastery book. Just take this. Also, what channel am I on right now? Because I know when I do that, yeah, I switched. I'm gonna be on channel 12 because I like this one. Oh, the burning field's different depending on the channel? I apparently never knew that. Until today. Okay, let's go put that back on so we could see the thing. Apparently this little thing glitched out so I can't even see it, like, shimmering anymore. I also looked into the Kama stuff again, and I also, don't click this again. I already clicked on it. Anyways, I looked into the Kama stuff again, and, so we're getting a fourth skill in the V matrix thing. I don't think automatically we have to actually get it on our own, but yeah. A fourth skill's been added, in KMS. Oh, never mind. I was about to say, I don't remember what Angelic Busters was, but no, I actually seen the GIF of it. And also I've seen someone, talk about, one of them, and it was like, yes, a fancy way to pretty much not survive in the game. Because someone shared a gif of, like, someone in KMS trying it out, and, they pretty much, like, not even a second later, all their HP was gone from the boss they were fighting as they did the skill, and it was like, welp, that didn't go so well. God, my eye. Okay, for some reason my left eye is starting to be stingy, and I don't know why it's doing that. But apparently it is. So, that's the thing. Oh, portal. Okay, let's see. Okay, just the enemy one. I keep forgetting the music is actually like this in this thing. Okay, anyways. What else to talk about? Oh yeah, also, like, I can't forget that there's also a new theme dungeon that KMS will be getting soon. And it's reminding me that I should really get my Angelic Buster to level 140 as, I mean, not 140, level 240 at some point, as quickly as I could. I mean. Although, I'm not sure if I will, because, you know, there's so much EXP you need to get to level 240 that it's insane. Like, seriously, like, one level, you need, like, at least, like, 101 billion EXP. Which is a lot. And it obviously increases from there. Actually, let's leave the map anyway. Oh! Just quest stuff. Okay, this all related to the demon storyline. Oh, there's the quest stuff. The achievement. What am I? Yeah, so that was like one achievement I tried. have been trying to get, because I kind of want to get, like, you know, like the questline stuff finished. For some of them, okay, I don't know why this hasn't updated, but that's strange. Okay. I guess I had to go on my Pathfinder later. And I know this one, I have to, like, continue leveling while young. And I'll make sure I do this on stream as well. For incomplete, I didn't do any of this. Because I don't want to play that character. Because it's kind of weird to play through an NPC, like, story. NPC's, like, story. You know, the more I think about it, it's kind of weird how they created a character, one of the Chief Knights, as a class. But, they never, like, consider... They never consider, like, okay, you made a class, like, pretty much, like, specifically centered around the Chief Knight. One of the Chief Knights, the Cygnus Knights, Chief Knight characters. However, here's the other thing. You only made one of them a playable character. Why not the other ones? Is the question. And I find that really weird. Like, okay, you did this, Maplestory, but why did you not, like, create the other ones as a playable class as well? So yeah, I'm just, like, thinking about that now. I'm like, why? Why only make one of them playable, but not the rest? And obviously that explains why you don't see him in some of the story cutscenes now, because he's a playable character. Yeah. But so I'm just, like, thinking about it, I'm like, they should have really, like, thought a little more into this when they did that. Of course, it wouldn't make much sense if the other characters are now playable, because, you know, they're now present in all the storyline stuff, which makes it seem like they're now locked out of, you know, the content if they ever existed as playable classes themselves. Because, you know, you have, like, because, you know, like, the Cernium storyline stuff. Yeah, the Cernium storyline stuff where you have two of the Chief Knights as important characters in, like, present in the story, and so it's like, I think some people would see where I'm going with this, because it's like if the rest of them existed as playable characters, it wouldn't make sense. It would kind of be a bit breaking, I guess. That, or, you know, they could switch it out, like switch out to like switch it. How do I put this? Like, they could switch it out with a different character, like, depending on the context. But again, I don't know, it would be a bit difficult because they would have to redo some, like, things. And of course, it might bug out and cause problems, so it's like, yeah. But it's also like, it's weird, because you create one of the Chief Knights as a playable character, and then you don't do that for the rest of them. And then it goes to the point where the rest of them will never be playable, because it would contradict a lot of viewable cutscenes. A lot of cutscenes, I mean. Like, for example, the event versions of quest lines. well, not really event versions anymore, but you know, Tenebris and Cernium. I'm still... Okay. I know I keep saying this every stream, but I'm still salty that I didn't do Tenebris, the event version. And because of my mistake on never playing that, I have to now read the patch notes. Like, in full, so I don't make a mistake. So that's what's been happening. On the side. Also, the more I think about it, I think like a lot of things in Maplestory now are very like early installment weirdness trope. And thinking about it, I don't know where to begin because there is a lot. Like, for starters, at least like 2 of the legend classes, I'll call them legend classes because it makes more sense at this point, were released before the Big Bang update back in... Well, for Global Maplestory it was end of 2010, early 2011. But in KMS, I think it was like mid-2010. And around the time, that's when I heard about like KMS, like proper. Because I've always seen like the Korean Maplestory videos, and I always keep thinking it's like, is this just a language change option? No, it's not. It's actually a separate server, and also the one that gets all the content first. While Global Maplestory has to wait 6 months. At least, give or take. So, but I didn't really know about like when updates happen, like for Global Maplestory until like a bit later. Because I didn't really know there was a half-a-year gap between KMS and GMS in terms of the updates. Where, like, if there's a spring update in KMS, it would be the fall update for us. And summer would be winter for us, and, you know, vice versa. But yeah. Anyways, like, you had 2 of the legend classes where they were released before the Big Bang update, and their storylines are fairly outdated compared to the recent ones. At least since the Legends update that happened for Global Maplestory. It happened at the end of 2011, which is when this class was released along with 2 others. And then since then, things have changed a lot since, with the entire game and how the story is structured. Of course, there's still like tons of inconsistencies like in the earlier like classes, but they're trying to but lately things are being like cemented now, so it's not like confusing or anything. How many years? Level 151. The mace. Well, time restricted, but that's fine. October, too. I literally got MP%, and as you can see, this class does not require MP. What the heck, game? This game just gave me MP potential, and I don't even need it. I wish the randomizers for potentials are a little better to being tailored to your class in this game. And also something I noticed from like playing the earlier classes in this game is that their damage values are much lower, I guess. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of like range, because you see it. You could tell it's there. There you go. Let's go back to town. Get rid of that. Buttons. Oops. Okay. What do you want? What do you want from the egg? Has it ever been explained why the demon in this game was in an egg? I feel like we never got that explanation, and I kind of wish we do. We did. Or, they did explain it, and I wasn't paying attention. Either one or the other. I really don't know. And the point being, this character was in an egg, apparently. So... There's a lot of random, like, people's things here. Let's get rid of it. Also, one of my, like, favorite parts of this entire area, the Road of Regret. Because there's something about the music here that's even more peaceful to listen to. I really loved Temple Time. There's just so many good tracks. And it's like one of my favorite places in the entire game. keep forgetting a little bit, but I also like looked into a little more about like how renting works on my TV provider thing. I guess it's TV. I don't know which part of it. Basically, the on-demand, and I learned that renting is different than I thought. So basically, when you rent something, you have 30 days to kind of like, start watching it or something. But like the moment you watch it, you have 24 hours to finish it, and then it's no longer available. Which is weird. I sort of interpreted... I originally interpreted... But I can't say the word because I'm bad at words. But I sort of thought it meant... like, after 24, 48 hours, like, the place you stopped at will reset back to the beginning or something. For some reason, I thought it meant that, but it apparently wasn't, so, I only found out just, like, this week, so, yeah, that's a thing. So, at this point, if I want to watch the movie again, I will probably buy the physical copy and have it on hand. Of course, I could just, buy it, on the TV anyway, but there's, like, a thing where, I don't trust having digital copies of a game. Which is why, whenever it comes to console games, specifically, I really want to get the physical version over the digital. And, in the case of video games, I usually want to get the physical copies just because I don't want to have so much of my computer space or, console storage, taken up because of a game. Of course, these days, for PC games, it's all download, but that's fine. That's, different. But if it's, a console, consoles, it's, they're not well optimized for, downloads. Which is, I guess, the reason why the PS5 is having a digital edition. So it is meant for, digital download. Storage friendly for digital, versions of a game. Of course, when I will definitely get the PlayStation 5, for sure, because that's the reason why I'm not buying a PS4, and I will definitely... and I will definitely get the one with the disc, what's it called? The disc, slot, I guess you could call it. I don't know what it's actually called, but, where the disc, is put in. But yeah, anyways, the point being, I'm definitely gonna get the physical copy of the movie, and if I want to watch it again, I'll watch it through, the physical copy. Although I would kind of prefer it on the TV anyway, because, I think I said it last week when I did stream and talk about the movie, but when I searched it on TV, there were two versions. And the only difference is one was more HD quality, and the other was not. So obviously I rented the HD one to watch, and after watching it outside of how do I put this? Not talking about the story or anything, but I'll just say it's better to watch HD because I'm not sure if some of the effects in it would look great if I actually watched it normally and not at HD or anything. I don't know if that makes a difference, but yeah. Well, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure it would make a difference because it's like, I mean, like how do I put this? Basically, on a TV like the one I have in my house, HD is very much the preferred option, no matter what. On my computer, it doesn't matter, but I think I would prefer HD because my computer can handle 1080. However, the DVDs I have only go up to 720. Which is why, when I did watch Servadian again, it was a tiny bit blurry, but because it was 720 quality. But it didn't look bad or anything. It still looked good because it's anime. And you wouldn't really notice unless you're watching something that was live action or something. Because on live action, if the quality is like at 720 on a 1080 like quality monitor, you would pretty much notice right away that it's blurry because translating real life, whether it's like CGI or like, like Final Fantasy CGI, or like, actual real life, it's like, it wouldn't look good at 720p on a 1080 monitor. Like, if it wasn't, like, properly, yeah, obviously if it's not matching your computer screen or anything. And of course, if it's not obvious enough, I am streaming in 720. But to be fair, like, only because, well, I don't have quality options. Sometimes I probably do, but, because I'm not a partner or anything, I don't have quality options. And, what else? Anyways, now that I'm thinking about it, this entire conversation has started because I was thinking about, getting physical copy of a movie. And also, obviously I could, play Blu-rays, but, like, because, I have Blu-rays, but, I actually can't play any of them because, I don't have the right system to play Blu-ray yet. So I pretty much can't actually play from the Blu-ray, which is actually higher quality than the DVDs. Also, the more I'm thinking about it, like, I hope my friend watches that movie. The one I watched. I want her to see it so much. Just because. Of course, I can understand if she's, like, busy with other things, so. But I hope she's, like, going to consider checking out, because I really want to talk about it with her, but, you know, I can't because I don't want to spoil the movie. It wouldn't be fun to spoil it anyway, so, like, why would I spoil the movie? Because, like, the more I'm thinking about this one part, the more I'm like, okay, I can't be the only one whose brain was, like, pretty much, like, poking at me when I saw it. Not literally poked, it's just kind of just, like... I said it before that, like, this one thing happens. I know what it actually means. Just to point out, I know what it means. However, a part of my brain was being the fangirl that it was, and I started thinking of stuff when I saw it, and I'm like, I can't believe my brain is like this. Why? I pressed the wrong... Okay, I pressed the wrong button. But anyways, as I was saying, like, I'm like thinking about it, it's like, yeah, my brain was... Like, I knew what actually happened, but my brain keeps thinking other things, and I'm like, I can't believe this. And another thing that I think I already talked about what I just talked about earlier in the stream. Actually, not really. Actually, yeah, sort of. That, like, this one particular moment, it kind of doesn't help that I've seen fan art before, like, beforehand. As I said, you know, I get into, like, a lot of things because of fan art or, like, recommendations people say. And this is the one case where I'm like, where, again, I've seen fan art beforehand, and now I see some moments, and while I know it usually means something else, because... I say usually because Serve the End is kind of a weird thing. And no, I'm not talking about Serve the End, I'm talking about something else. And anyways. Yeah, I think that's it. And also I mentioned Serve the End because, as I said, like, I got into it because of fan art and chips, and, even when trying to not think about the fan art when watching it, like, or, you know, reading it, because I also read the manga, you can't deny that these two characters actually, like, it's not just, like, fans being fans, it actually is pretty much canon that these two characters are actually interested in each other, like, not as friends, basically. And also, speaking of that, Sarah of the End, I mean. If anyone has seen it, or, like, never really watched it, but have seen things about it, I gotta ask, like, to anyone who sees particular moments from it, either out of context or with context, because I'm pretty sure if some people saw some scenes without context, they would obviously assume these two characters are not just friends, but like, I'm, like, thinking about it, it's like, if anyone sees specific moments related to these characters, would the immediate thought be they're definitely, like, in love with each other? Because I gotta know. And I definitely want to know, because if anyone sees it platonically, there is something wrong. Because a lot of their interactions, as I've said multiple times, are definitely not something I would do with a friend. And one of the many things is that, because, the series is, related to all the vampire stuff, obviously, vampires fighting and drinking human blood is a thing, but of course it can mean other things, and, it doesn't help that there's something canon in the story now that I'm just like, okay, that's, nice to know that the character likes this, but, but I'm like thinking about it, like, their interactions a lot, and I'm like, the more I think about it, the more it's like, it's obviously not platonic. You can't just, there's no way someone would just see that sort of interaction like, oh, it's just friends. It's like, no one does that with their friends. That's for lovebirds. And someone said, like, I pretty much saw a comment where it was basically like that. Like, they had someone, like, they've known someone as, like, as literally just a friend. And it's like, I would not, this can't be platonic. Like, when they saw this moment in Seraph the End, and it's like, yeah, pretty much. And also, thinking about Seraph the End again, things are happening in the story, and I'm scared that I'm a little nervous as to what's going on at the moment in the story. Next chapter's in about like 20 days, as of the time I'm streaming this, and I'm like, I want to know what happens next, but I'm also not prepared, and I'm like, whenever a chapter is about to be released now, I get really nervous the closer the date of the update is. Because this happened like 3 times now. Like, I was excited to go into chapter 89, but after I read chapter 89, everything's been sad. And since that chapter, I became more and more nervous about what's about to happen in the series. Which makes sense because I caught up with it and have to deal with waiting for, like, a new chapter every month, at least. Give or take, because, I want a new damage skin on my character. I obviously don't have one. Anyways, Anyways, what I was saying. Oh, right. I have no skill points anymore. Anyways, I'm losing track of what I'm talking about. Check something. Oh. The thing that really sucks about Temple of Time is that... Actually, not Temple of Time, just in general, the Monster Collection, is that... Like, the reason you can't just easily solve a single page is because they purposely want you to get a specific elite monster on each page. Which is kind of dumb. But anyways, so yeah, I'm just like thinking about Seraphian again a little bit. It's at a point in the story where I'm like, I'm always nervous about what's going to happen because like, oh, I'm always nervous about what's about to happen in it because I'm like, because you know of obvious recent events in the story. I could easily do this. That was quick. That's the quickest I've done for like elite boss. I don't really care for this. Anyways, okay, that's done. Anyways, anything else to say? Oh, bounty hunter portal. Let's get that. Oh, come on. Why can't the button mashing? I hate that so much. You know, on the bright side of things, at least I was able to do the, like, to actually get to the top of that, like, dragon egg or something hunt, bounty portal thing. I've only done it at least once, so I at least got the achievement. god, that's a reflection. There we go. I didn't get the quest. Oh, well that sucks. Whoops. Oh my god, I hate when this glitches out. Well, I just did something and didn't accept the quest for. Let's go to channel 13. If it stops telling me that I'm getting hit. There you go. Okay. Okay, there isn't really any buffs I have on, so we're able to complete this quest with no issue. Because apparently this class says, like last time, you actually have to perish. Thankfully, you don't lose the XP when you do this. Let's go back. I can't use in this map, really. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna end the stream early. I usually don't, but I'll make an exception this time. Also, I found another one of these. Oh, it's not different. Never mind. Okay, so it changes every day. Based on what I know. Okay, let's go back to channel 12. I know it changes because at one point I saw it had a pink bean chair and I got that on my character. Again, I really like Temple Time. Also, one thing I'm just remembering, like, you know how, like, earlier I talked about, like, Maplestory, like, a lot of early stuff that's still relevant in Maplestory, like, being very, what's the word? Like, very early installment weirdness. Like, another one is, like, some of the, early maps of the game. Like, one of them is, wait, where is it? Oh, here it want to mention about like how is like the early installment weirdness is mainly the maps of the game. Because like at some point, I don't remember when it happened, but I think it was 2013 or 14, I don't know. But like at some point, one of the maps that Maplestory changed a lot was Genesis in in Victoria Island. And not only that place, but also Maple Island. They both got huge revamps, as well as the NPCs as well. And the thing is, only that place in the entirety of Maplestory. Now, let's not count Maple Island for this example. That town, in the entirety of Maplestory, as well as the map surrounding it, is the only place to get... It's the only nostalgic place to get a revamp. Every other place has yet to even get one. And that upsets me because... It's like, okay, you do this. What about everything else? It's like... very much forgetting something moment. And I'm saying this because the other maps really could deserve some of the same treatment. But they don't. So yeah, it stands out a lot because of it. Of course, that just means Global Maplestory will not get it for like a half a year later from Camus, but I would really love to see the changes. Like, something different. And also, whenever I keep thinking about it, I feel like they should really change, like revamp some of the early storylines to kind of match up with, like, you know, the confirmed information and not make it so inconsistent. Because I would 100% play those characters, like recreate those characters just to play through their revamped storylines again. Of course that hasn't happened because at the moment, the focus now is on the next arc of Maplestory, which is the Grandis, like, area, at least. Grandis and, Darmor, who is the current big bad of the new saga, arc storyline thing. And, we pretty much were introduced to him in, Cernium. He was the High Flora we met there. He went by a different name, but apparently he's Darmor. However, we have the biggest question of all. It's like, he is Darmor, but why? Like, he was being genuine when he said, I hate the Flora as much as any Nova. It's like, what does it mean? What does it mean? You're supposed to be like... It's like, he's the one who did all the bad things, right? So it's like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? What is going on? Who is Darmor? Like, because I don't think we know much about him other than, like, you know, what we learned in the storylines. Before, not counting Cernium, where he's the current king of the Flora, the High Flora. Basically, got rid of the previous one to take control of the Flora, pretty much instigated a war, and pretty much controls most of Grandis. Most because, you know, obviously rebelling planets. So yeah, a lot of questions up in the air, and I am very curious of how it will all connect later down the line. Also, a bit random, but whenever I keep thinking about it, I'm surprised that out of all the classes in Maplestory, the demon class is the only one to have two unique versions of the same cutscene, depending on if you're playing as a boy or a girl in this game. As the character, I mean. Which is, I still find really interesting how they did that. Of course, they didn't really do that in the long run, because that means they had to recreate the cutscenes. Like, they pretty much had to recreate the cutscenes if they, you know, kept it for, like, future updates. So, like, at least since the Legends update in Maplestory, like, they pretty much started, putting confirmed, like, characters, like, basically to avoid, like, they only have, like, one set of official art for, like, characters. Because, you know, obviously before that... Actually, no, they still pretty much did that. I'm trying to think. I mean, they still go to the effort to create, like, female portraits, you know, opposite portraits for, like, the, depending on if you play as a boy or a girl, as well as, you know, provide voices. But it's like, but in terms of promotional stuff, the last time they did it was for Xenon, when that class came out, where they had, like, promotional images, like, at least, like, one promotional image of female Xenon. And, like, that's pretty much it. Like... Anyways, I think that's mostly it. Because nothing else comes to mind, right now. I guess it's just kind of interesting to think back on a lot of things mystery related. Because, you know, it makes me think a lot. So... Also, the more I'm thinking about this, also, like, actually, on something different, I still can't get over that. It's been a while now, but I can't get over the fact that there was, like, one person who was so terrible, to the point that they pretty much threatened someone. And it's really messed up. Basically, to summarize, the game's not really that new anymore, but a game released last month, someone didn't like what happened in the story. And how did they handle that? By threatening the voice actor of said character from at least that part of the story. And it was messed up because it's like, why would someone think that's a smart idea to do? Like, to commit to? thing. One, voice actors in general, because it could also extend to live action, plays and, shoots on TV. Voice actors, are not their characters. They just play the role of the character and are not the character. And two, if you don't like something, that's fine. That's kind of the point. But does that mean you have to threaten the voice actor or the actor? No, that does not mean that. That's basically doing that. How do I put this? That's just you being a really terrible person, because if you don't like something, that doesn't mean you have to threaten someone with death. And also, I talked about this in one of my streams last week when it was more like, when the issue was more recent, I think. But still, I can't get over that there was someone like that, and I'm like, what part of their mind thought it was a good idea to go on the internet and threaten a voice actor? It's like, really? And also, if you can't distinguish an actor from their character, there is something wrong. Oh, the puff room expired. But anyways, if you can't distinguish an actor from their character, there's something wrong here, and you probably need help, because actors are not their characters. They just play the role of them. And if the character makes you upset, then that means they did their job correctly. Like, they want you to feel a strong sense of emotion with the character from their performances and stuff like that. But threatening, that's where it goes that's where the fine line of there's something wrong with you starts popping up. Because don't do that. Don't do that. And also, everyone will pretty much call you out because you pretty much threatened someone like that on the internet because of something that has no actual connection to the actor at all. So yeah, friendly reminder, if something makes you upset in a game or a movie or an anime or whatever, it's not the actor's fault or anyone's fault. And do not threaten anyone because you don't like it. That's not how it works. But yeah, the point being, if something makes you upset in the story that involves, actual, actors playing parts in a role or something, if you're upset, it's fine. Just do not, whatever you do, say bad things. And also, while I'm at it, wear a mask. As they say, and as they put on the screen now, these days. Because apparently some people are being oblivious to what science actually is these days. Honestly, it's starting to reach to a point where I'm feeling that the people who don't wear masks likely never paid attention in their science class. And I am being serious because in science you learn about all this stuff about health and how what dangerous things happen to your body, which is pretty much what you learn in biology half the time. And yeah, but still, wear a mask, keep people safe, do not basically, a lot of posts online could pretty much say the same thing, so it's I don't want to say anymore, just because of the obvious reasons. And also, I kind of don't want to delve into the topic too much, because we're gonna be here forever if I do. And I kind of don't want to say certain things because at this point, I'm at my last nerve seeing people not take it seriously. And if I see another chunk of post about it, I am so saying something on Twitter like, please wear a mask, and probably yell. So that might happen. So I'm gonna calm down and not think about it too much right now. Okay. I think I'll finish up, I got my ears. And also, I can't wait for Paper Mario Origami King to come out. I don't remember the day, but it should be fairly close now. I'm too lazy to check the date right now. I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I won't be playing it right away. I'm actually going to watch other people play the game because at the moment I'm kind of saving money buying figures at the moment. Well, technically I already ordered 3 figures and I'm still waiting for them. I'm supposed to have gotten at least like 2 of them back in May, but of course, you know, the situation and there's a delay. And also another figure I got, which was supposed to come last month, is not here either. And I'm seriously, like, I get the situation, as I said a million times, but like, they're supposed to, I just really want the money transacted already so I know how much is left in my account. Like, I have done the calculations already, but it's at the point where I'm like, okay, I did the calculations, but where are my figures? Like, I mean, I'm obviously waiting for them, but I'm also like, I did the calculations, yes, but I'd rather have the money transacted already because I want to start pre-ordering another figure. Because, of course, as some people may know, I don't really mention it a lot actually, but I got into a series called, basically it's like Hanako-kun, and, I enjoyed the series. I don't want to say the full name because of obvious reasons, but I enjoyed the series a lot. I've only seen the anime so far. I haven't even seen the rest of the anime, actually. Because I'm only watching the English dub. Because, obvious reasons. And I enjoy it. I'm going to read the manga soon. Hopefully at some point. And on Good Smile, they added, they have an Android of Hanako-kun on pre-order, and I 100% want to get it eventually, soon. Well, pretty much I want to get it soon, because the pre-order ends in the beginning of August, so I have that many days left. And of course, it won't come until the what's the day? Like sometime in January 2021. So I can't wait to get my hands on pre-ordering that because I want it so much. Well, speaking of figures, I wish there was Seraphodion figures. I really want there to be some. Technically, I think there are some figures, but the issue is they're probably not available, or they're really expensive. are probably pretty much, last time I checked, not on good smile at all. So yeah. And no more. Okay, my dog's making noise. Anyways, I really want those figures, like to exist, the Seraphian ones. Okay, I think I said that weirdly, but basically it's like I want figures to exist for like Seraphian, like at least like Nendoroids. I'm surprised that there are no Nendoroids. I'm pretty sure there isn't. I mean, I checked. There are no Nendoroids related to Seraphian, which make me really upset because how? How is it like, how is this possible? How is there no figures related to Seraphian? Like Nendoroids specifically, I mean I sorta did check and know that there have been figures, but I don't think they're available or are are really expensive. So yeah. I really want figures to exist so much. I mean, Nendoroids. But still, like, in general, like, figures that are probably affordable? I don't know. I really want them as, like, as figures. Like, okay, I'm getting confusing, but like, I hope it happens eventually. I'm surprised it never even happened. Like, the most obscure series I have seen and didn't really like ends up having a Nendoroid, and I'm like, okay, so this gets a Nendoroid, but not like something like Seraphian, which was more popular than, at least more popular than that series. And I'm like, still shocked. Also, when I think about it, if there is going to be a figure, if there is going to be like Nendoroids for the series, I am 100% believing that they will release 2 of them if that were to happen. Silly monsters. Anyways, as I was saying, so, like, I'm also thinking about it, and I'm like, if Nendoroids were to exist, or, you know, like, figures in general, more figures, if there has already been at least, like, 1 figure, they would have to make 2 of them. Like, 2 different ones at the same, like, to be released roughly the same time. And the simple reason? Because, well, considering if anyone actually knows Seraphian, like the series, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna just say it. Let's go quickly level, because because I am close to 160 and I kind of want to do that right away. On time. That's one of these. No, I messed up. Oh, I hate that. Of course, it's on this impossible. There. Almost done anyway with the level. There we go. 160. Wait, not there. Wait. Okay, let's go back and clear out our inventory. Oh, wait. About this. Okay. Sell these items I don't need. Okay. I think that will be it for today's stream. Nothing really much outside of talking, doing a little bit of dailies, and leveling my character here. Didn't really level up too much though, but that's fine. I'll worry about this later because I need to figure out what I want to add into the points. So yeah, pretty much nothing much happened. Just talked while doing a lot of things. Pretty much talked about what's on my mind and other things. Also kind of summarizing some points I mentioned earlier in, well, not earlier today, earlier in general. Like on one of my previous streams, which I wanted to say again because of the obvious reasons. And I think that's it. I don't know. So for the time being, the schedule's pretty much going to be the same. Maplestory Tuesday, ESO Thursday, and Art Friday. Because I don't really have, like, any other plans at the moment to changing it up. I mean, obviously the MMO streams would change up depending on, how how do I put this? It will change depending on, like, what happens in one of them, like for a Maplestory, as an example here, like, there will be times where I'll play that on Thursday or Wednesday, instead of Tuesday, because of new content that happens to only be available 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 or 7, depending on the weird savings time. Which, to be honest, at this point, I feel like we don't need it anymore because it's kind of useless and annoying. So like that happening, 8 or 7 or 8, depending on the situation, Eastern Standard Time, on Tuesdays, which suck. So that means for new content now, I have to stream on Wednesdays or Thursdays, give or take. Probably mostly Thursdays, it depends. And what else? I'm trying to think, but my mind is like drawing a blank. But yeah, the schedule will change depending on that. It will also change depending on when my favorite manga chapter, like the chapters from my favorite manga get posted. Which in this case, the next one's on a Monday, so I will be streaming on that Monday when it happens. Of course, it will be a long time from now, but that's fine. And what else? I think that's it. So anyways, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all in the next stream.